Alright boys, welcome back to another video. In this one, what we're going to be doing is breaking down the whole of Craggy Cliffs so you can get a nice drop spot, whether it be solo, duo, or a trio. If this video does help, because it's going to be a long one, so you might want to, get the popcorn, get the drinks. But if it does help, make sure you hit that sub button, because we do 2 of these videos every week, and we take requests for different named locations and POIs. Once we have all the POIs done, we're going to just start doing like solo spots and loot routes with unnamed locations until the new season drops with new locations. So this series is always going to be on the channel, so it's worth subscribing for it. Moving on, we're going to get straight into it. The first thing you can do is divide this place up. That's what I always do. The boys know that. You divide it up so it's easier to kind of visually see it and the different places you can loot. So usually it's 3 or 4 places you can split it into. In this case it's 3. You can split it to 4, but for simplicity we'll just do 3. So like this. So if you have a trio going here, that's usually how they'll split. I have a trio in this corner, trio all around, scattered out here, and then here. Okay, obviously this is the one we're going to go for. This is the building we're going to play for, and I'm going to tell you how to play it right now, and I'll tell you why we're playing for that building over the other buildings. And get rid of all these. By the way, if you are new here, IGL, frag, and support. Whatever blue lines are on this map represent the IGL, pink represent the frag, and the red represent your support. Now, if you're playing solos, you just play along with the blue lines, because that's the only role in solos. If you're playing duos, you just rock with the IGL and the fragger, so you just follow them 2 lines and forget about this. And obviously, if trio, you just follow all the colours to make sure your whole team knows what they're doing. Now, the reason why we're going for this back building is pretty obvious, is it's got 24, 28, plus this, it's got like 34 floor loot or something like that, right? And 3 chests. Also, you have the barrels in here to get up to 100 HP for 200 HP for your whole team. No other buildings offering that. Sure, that's probably the next best. This corner here, these 3 buildings split these 3. But oh, nice getting an ad. Right, so the ad's gone. You can split these 3 down here, but it is better to just get all your team landing here, legit like this. Watch, get your IGL landing straight in the roof, like so. IGL straight in the roof. Landing in there. Okay, so your IGL landing here. By the way, this blue box is like what we do. And if there's a circle in the blue box, it means they're landing there. Obviously then, your fragger is going to land here too. Your fragger is actually going to land on this. I would say that the fragger should take the front. And then your IGL, or your support, sorry, my bad. Your support roll. That's why I'm putting all 3 boxes around this. I don't need to, but I want to just make it clear that basically your whole team is landing here. Okay, that's clear. Your whole team is landing here. Then I would suggest the building you to push be right over here. Is go straight like, okay, I need to remove these lines, boys. You know you're all landing here anyway. Take a screenshot or something. Okay, everyone's landing here. I'll do it. I'll draw it like this. Watch. It's obvious now. Everyone's landing here. Yeah, I mean, doesn't really matter where you land. It does if you want to like be that extra bit organized. So if you do get contested this building, it's very important to know where everyone's landing. So that way you can maximize the amount of loot you guys can get before you fight the team that landed on you. I would push down straight onto this house afterwards, and then push onto this house. Just play between these 3 houses, because if there's a team here, obviously if there's no team on this side, you just you pull around this way and fight this team, because there's going to be a team then over here, around here. But the reason why you want to make sure there's no team here first, over on this side, is simply because this has the second most amount of loot. Okay, you do like 4 chests and 13, and look how small that building is. Okay, you have 3 chests. They have 4 and 13 floor loot in this building. So it's way faster to get that loot and push you. Same if they have 1 guy here, 1 guy here, 1 guy here. They're going to get way more loot than you. But they won't have as much health as you. They might have about 150 each. One of them might have 200. It just depends on loot. That's why you play for this, for stability, because you know those chug barrels are going to spawn. That way you can push straight out onto these. There's not really much more you need to do. It's just get this building and push out. So I'm going to move on to the rotation hour here, depending on how you want to play the game. Whether you want to play for placement after you come out of here, or whether you want to play for the win. So Sorry, play for the win. Play for kills. Let me just get rid of absolutely everything. We don't need any of these roles anymore. I could have just hit blank on the screen actually, now that I remember. Right, we're zooming out. Out. Okay. Even further. We don't need chests or anything. This is all we need right here. Craggy is one of those really good spots. Because if you want to rotate, the best rotates are obviously blue here, meaning when we go on to rotates, blue takes the meaning of like, this is a simple placement rotate. It's easy to get for placement. You know, it's the safest way to play if you want to, in terms of like, you know, keeping your life. Craggy being at the top center of the map gives you the option to go up and swim around like that. Up and swim around like this. Or even if you wanted to, you can just drop off and come down here. You know, and it's like, it gives you that rotate too. Or you can come around like this. Same with this, you can go in here if you want. Because of that water, it gives you loads of access to different places you can go for easy rotates. Also with Craggy, I forgot to mention, if you're playing solo and you have the time, you should probably get those fishing pools here, because like there's a lot of them. Like, I know you boys know that, but do you actually know how many there can be? That's how many fishing spots there can be over there. And there's also 8 around here, which is worth getting as well. If you're playing trios, I suggest splitting. 2 boys go over there because they can handle themselves, and 1 go here. Obviously, if it's FNCS, I wouldn't split that big, but if it's just arena or something, go for it. Okay, so then we're gonna move on to pink or purple. I don't know what that color is, but it's gonna be the kind of, them rotates look, they're super passive. You know, you're not gonna really run into many people, but pink would be like the safest way to get a fight in. You get me? It's like you won't be third partying someone, but you'll be fighting so far out in the middle of nowhere that it's like really, really worth it, because you're not going to get third party. It should be just a one and done fight, and those fights would be into stealthy. That's definitely a good fight. Up onto this mountain. If there's no team here, there's no team on this mountain, I would suggest going down here. You'll guarantee a team down there. Or rotating down here to get this team, because these are all super passive. At the start of the game, they're super passive. And then I would also say run into Steamy like so. As long as you know there's no one up here when you go for Steamy, you're chilling. If there's somebody up here, well, you go for Steamy. When you're rotating out of Steamy, they're going to just be right on you. And then it's going to be the same process again, where they find themselves having a free kill because you just got rid of the competition in Steamy. So there's no third party up this high in the map. Unless obviously it's really second zone or something. But we're talking first zone, you have it. Also, being at the top of the map, I'm going to go back to blue. Gives you access to maybe like, if you really wanted to play super passive, is to wrap around to dirty. It gives you the, like, and the same here, you can wrap around to holly. You really, from Craggy, you have the whole side of the map. I know that looks like a long rotate, but if you look at this rotate with Craggy, okay, let's say holly is zone like this, okay. I'm just going to draw a half zone. So let's say this is the zone, okay. It's a first zone or something. It's a big one, but not a lot of like map is in it. Now watch what I'm about to do. If you go diagonal from here all the way to holly, yeah, you're walking that. There's no river. Them rivers both go the wrong way. Maybe here you might get a bit of a river to here, but it's not really that worth it. But I know you have cars as well. Still, cars are allowed. So if you're running this, look how long that's going to take. If you got a boat, I know boats are allowed, but you're in water on the edge of the map. Do you think that's going to take as long? It would take thereabouts quicker or the same amount of time. Like, look how long that black line is. Look how long that is. Okay, and you're going 2 times faster. That's all I'm saying. And it's guaranteed, like, look at it. It's guaranteed less fights than going through Pleasant, by Salty, by Sweaty, into Holly. And everybody else is going to be doing the same thing when you look at it like this. Coliseum rotating in. Salty rotating in. Sweaty rotating in if they want to. Pleasant rotating in. If you didn't kill Steamy Stacks, they're going to rotate in. Stealthy's going to rotate in. Now, this original black line in the middle, which I'll outline with a bit of yellow. Okay, this one. You're starting to see you're in the center of so many different teams. 3 on your left and 3 on your right. We didn't even talk about Dirty coming in. Retail, Hunters, Weeping. But like, they're all coming at you. Weeping have the best. Weeping and Slurpee have the best rotate into Holly, to be honest. Or Sweaty. Anything that's in zone can easily get behind and reposition to face you, which makes it way harder for you to fight that. Because you know you've got two oppositions colliding at each other. But see how dangerous that is versus that. Even if one or two people decide, you know, to do the same rotate or here, you know, it's still not as, you know, like by here I mean like the shark, you know, sees you, they take a few shots at you. Like as long as no one psychos you, you're gonna be okay. And that's why Craggy is such an overpowered drop, because it does give you access to pull around maps real quickly like that. Then as far as like red, like what not to do, I would say this is a very bad strategy right here. Going here and then anywhere inside this box, especially if you're in a tournament with high quality players. Like W key games, sure. Like I would not, even me, I wouldn't W key straight into this. It's so aggressive and heated in this area because everybody's pulling in, and it's not even like they're all coming from one direction. It's like, again, if I do the thing with the line, boom, 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 see, it's all directions. So if you rotate early, which Craggy will rotate early because it's got like one of the quickest runs into the center, and you find yourself here from Craggy. Look at the way people are looking at you. They're looking at you, they're looking at you, they're looking at you, they're looking at you. You get me? You're just surrounded by all sides, and everywhere you run, it's just going to be complete AIDS, to be honest. So you don't want to fall into one of those situations. So that is the red. Hold on, I need to get rid of that box. Wait, undo. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Right. So as far as then places I would recommend, I've already really said it, but if you're W keying, I'll just use a nice green. I would pull into Pleasant for a W key game. I didn't get rid of that. Yeah, I would pull into Pleasant for a W key game. Personally, that's the only place I would go. I would probably go from Craggy to Stealthy to Pleasant, because you don't need to be super aggressive with your W key game. You just need to pick up, maybe, if it's a duo or trio, I would say between 5 and 8 kills, and you will do that by doing that pull. Because there's going to be people rotating from coral across. If zone isn't over here, they're going to be rotating at you, so it's pretty easy to pick up kills. But yeah, that's all I have for Craggy Cliffs. I'm going to be doing way more of these, so make sure you comment below on what ones you want to do. And as always, make sure you hit that sub button, because we do drop the best tip videos, bar no one. And I do believe that, and they're going to get better. Next week we have some big plans. I have some big announcements, but we're going to keep it moving. Hope you have a good day. Hope this helped you out some way. And yeah, have a good one.